Azure Sentinel UEBA. Now, User Entity Behavior Analytics, or UEBA as I like to call it, can detect anomalies in behavior, not only of the users in the corporate network, but also of routers and servers and endpoints in our network environment. When you enable a UEBA, it synchronizes Microsoft Entra ID with Microsoft Sentinel, storing the information in an internal database visible through Identity Info Table in Log Analytics. UEBA solutions also build profiles that model the standard behavior of users and entities in your IT environment or organization, such as servers, routers, and data repositories. So while it's building this profile, it's known as baselining. Now, some common scenarios where you would use UEBA would be detecting suspicious user accounts, detecting suspicious user-like entities, detecting insider threats, monitoring user activity, detecting suspicious account creation attempts, protection of executive assets, as well as speeding up your cybersecurity investigations. Now we have the three pillars of UEBA, and of course you can see here on pillar 1, it's the malicious insider issues that we have, the compromised users, the zero-day attacks, and of course the known threats. Then we have the supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, the stats modeling, and of course the rule-based systems on level 2. And then of course on level 3 we have that data, which is event logs and networking flows and packets and HR and user context, as well as external threat intelligence. Now, these UEBA functions and components are broken down into 3 layers. And of course you have the data analytics that tracks the normal behavior and builds a profile based on the baseline. And the stats models can detect unusual behavior and alert IT administrators. Of course, UEBA systems are able to compare data from various sources such as logs, capture packets, as well as data sets and existing security systems. Of course, the data presentation, the process where UEBA systems communicate their findings, and typically by issuing a request for an analyst to investigate this unusual behavior. So in our lab, we're going to do a walkthrough on this UEBA, and hopefully you'll have a better understanding of it. And I look forward to seeing you in the lab. Welcome to this lab, Microsoft Sentinel UEBA setup and configuration. So as you can see, I've logged into my Sentinel Blade. Underneath Threat Management, I'm going to select Entity Behavior. Then at the top here, I'm going to select Entity Behavior Settings. I'm going to go ahead and set a UEBA by clicking the Set UEBA button. And this is going to take me to the UEBA setup. And I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to select Microsoft Active Directory. I'm going to select, say, Audit Logs, Activity Logs, and Sign In. I'm going to click Apply over here. That's going to go away. It's going to do that validation for us. And once that validation has passed, I'm going to go ahead and click Apply at the bottom here as well. And that's going to do that validation for our analytics side. And that's it. We're done there. Now I need to go back into my Microsoft Sentinel again, go back to my workspace. And this time I'm going to come down to Analytics. And what I want to do on the analytics side is I actually want to go to Anomalies, and I want to add a filter, and I want to choose a data source. Now that data source, I could scroll down and look for Microsoft Enrata, or I could just come to the type here and type in Entra, and this will bring me up Microsoft Entra ID. I can go ahead and click Apply. And if you notice now, we now have our Entra rules, and I'll just drag this over so you can see we've got some real estate. So if I wanted to create this account creation rule, I could click on this rule. From the flyout, I could click Edit. And as you can see, there's not much we can do here because this is a system rule. We can click on Configuration. We can't adjust anything here, but it's all grayed out. We can click Next on Feedback, and we can click Next to Review and Create, and we can click Save. And that goes ahead and saves that rule for us so that we can actually use that rule that we just saved. And if I move this over, you can see here there's our rule. So how do I create a customized rule that we can use? Well, I can select the rule and I can say duplicate that rule, and that will go ahead and duplicate that rule for us. And you'll notice it says it's duplicated, it's in flight mode, and it says disabled. If I click on that rule itself and from the flyout click Edit, I can now come down and can say, right, I'm going to put that into production, because flighting means maybe you want to do some anomaly testing. You want to test before you go live. So it's a good way to test your rule before you actually put it into production. So I could go ahead and say, that's fine, I want to put it into production. I can say yes if I want to put that into production, and this will change it. If I wanted to, I could click yes, and that could go ahead and go next on configuration. Now if you notice, I can drag my slider across. So I might want to drag my slider, say, to, I don't know, 83%. I can go ahead and click next, and I can go ahead and click review, and I can go ahead and click save. And that's going to go ahead and save that rule for us. And we can actually start using that rule now. And if you notice, it still says disabled there. But what we have to do is give it some time. Remember, when we're creating these analytic rules in Microsoft Sentinel, they can take a few minutes to enable. And you can see there's my customized rule that we have just created. If I wanted to delete a rule, that's pretty easy as well. I could go ahead and select the rule itself, and then from the flyout, we could go through and edit that rule again if I wanted to edit it. And again, we can do a review and an update, or like I said, I can go back to my Microsoft Analytics. I could click on that particular rule itself, and then we could go ahead and delete that rule. And if you notice, we can't delete these rules. You see it's been disabled. That's because those are built-in rules. However, we can delete our customized rule by clicking on our customized rule, and we can go ahead and we could disable that rule, or I could come down here and I could say delete, and I could go ahead and delete that rule. So again, this just gives us an example of what we can do with our rules. If I wanted to edit that rule and put that rule into a production environment, I could click on production, click configuration, click submit, and go ahead and click review and click save. And that would go ahead and put that rule into a production mode. Now bear in mind, like I said to you earlier on, you can hit the refresh button here. It does take a good 5 or 10 minutes for that rule to change from disabled to enabled. And as you can see here, that rule has now been enabled and we are ready to go. So again, if I don't want that rule, I could come straight down here, click on that rule, and I could click delete and say yes, and that would go ahead and delete that rule. But again, like I said, just bear in mind, it can take a few minutes for that rule to delete and for Sentinel to update. So I'd like to thank you for viewing, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lab.